If you're catching the replay, we're letting everyone join, so bear with us for just a few minutes. It's 5 till 7. So bear with us as we connect and get everybody from Facebook and YouTube together as one. Hey guys. Oh, my kitty cats are out there meowing. And my dogs are barking at the kitty cats. Come here. Come here, Taggy boy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Can you see him? Oh, Taggy boy. This is Roro. This is my unmade bed. You little rotten dogs. You little rotten dogs. Come over here. Come here. They won't let me get them. We have 4 minutes. So now's your time to go pop a squat or go get your protein or do what you need to do, because we've got a couple minutes before we're going to get started. And I have coffee, and I really wished I had the Coke Zero. But I woke up at 6 o'clock because Shane has to go to Birmingham this morning. So he didn't leave at his normal time. And I'm like, why are you here? He's in there on his iPad. Gravy and biscuit and bacon. Papa squat. I don't know if, I guess y'all all know what I mean when I say Papa squat. I know Laura knows. Laura's from my neck of the woods. We know what that means. Maybe I should say, if you need to go tinkle, go tinkle, because we have a few minutes left. Instead of saying Papa squat. Okay, it's time to put in my fancy watch. Chris knows what Papa squat means. Chris, yesterday I cleaned out my closet that is in my spare bedroom, and I found my I didn't fart sign, Sneed's Farmhouse. And I was looking at it and trying to figure out how, because my Jeep does not have, it's not like a truck. It doesn't have a front tag or a back tag. And so I was trying to figure out if I could put that on my car or not. So I was going to ask Shane. I didn't know if I could put it around my tag or if it would block the expiration date or whatever. But I'm trying to figure out how to put that on my car. I'm putting that on my car. So don't give up on me. I just don't have a place to put my tag. Put it in Shane's car. I should do that. How do you get beef collagen? I've never heard of beef collagen. Is it loaded with fat? It sounds like it would be loaded with fat. Okay. We got 1 minute. I will, JC. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I have a lot to talk about, so I'm probably going to be all over the place, but you guys are used to it. First of all, I'll talk about the peacock enclosure. First of all, we know what this time of year is, right? It's hunting season, and nothing exists but hunting. Okay. It is very important to Shane. I don't understand it. It makes absolutely, if you are a wife of a hunter and you are like me and you're like, I just don't get it. Like, what the heck? Like, you would rather go hunting than go on a week-long vacation to the beach. Like, it makes absolutely zero. I heard him getting up. Isn't that cute? I was doing a 0. I wasn't doing a heart. I'm not doing a heart. I'm doing a 0. Anyway, it makes 0 sense to me. But for some reason, it's so important to him. And so I have been, like, I don't want to totally rush into the peacock. I do need the peacock enclosure as fast as possible. But my builder is in shutdown till February. Okay. What the? My builder is in shutdown until February. And I thought about trying to hire someone, but I'm just going to be honest with you. There's no one that can do it like Shane. Like, I've tried to have people in the past, and it's just a dead end. And when Shane does it, it's done right. And so come here.
Go.
I need you to say hello before we start bad mouthing you.
Hello. I get talked about every day of my life.
What time will you be home?
I hope around 3 o'clock.
Okay. I need to make sure Timmy Joe's gone before you get here. Anyway, so no one does it like Shane. And so I decided that it was worth me waiting. So I am doing research right now on my peacock enclosure. What I envision and Shane envision is like two different spectrums. Because what I envision, I showed you guys, like the dome, like the top, and it has the dome, and Shane's like, Judy, you do not have enough room for what you're wanting. I'm like, Joker, I see it. Like, I can see it. And what I was really wanting is which most of you have not been here, but what I was really wanting is, JC, you know where my zip line is in the woods? I was wanting to build an enclosure, a huge enclosure right there. But Shane's like, you would have to knock down the pine trees. And see, I envision building around the pine trees, like, like cutting out a hole where the pine trees are and like having the wood around so that the peacocks can go to the pine trees and roost. But see, it's easy for me to decide what I want because I'm not a builder and I don't know how it works. So like, I'm not really sure how to do this, but I do know, someone said this, one of my followers said this, and I don't remember who it was, but they were like, the top of the dome that you're wanting looks like those old satellite dishes. And I was like, oh, maybe I should find a satellite dish to put at the top and then just paint it. But that's what I want, the top. I want it to have a big dome. So it probably will not be able to be built until this Joker gets off hunting season. So I'm probably thinking around March or April that I'm going to have to lock him down and go, look here, buddy, I've been dealing with hunting season for 4 months. You can help me with this. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to say it like that. I'm not going to quite say it like that. I'm going to be nicer. But see, when I'm talking to the girls and the boys, my followers, my backup dancers, I have to talk like I'm like, the ruler around here. So anyway, the peacock enclosure is like in the thought process. I'm not rushing in.
She only talks crap when I ain't at home, so that way I don't keep her in tune, in line. You know how us men folk got to keep her in line. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever. I ain't scared of him. Get to work. You got things to do. You got money to make. I need a peacock enclosure. Get on out there and get your job done.
Yeah, work on the eggs, cooking, the cleaning, have that stuff done when I get here.
He makes me so mad. He calls when he's trying to be smart off to me, he says women are what does he say? You need to get your ings done. Cooking, cleaning, like anything that ends with the ing, you need to do it today. Get all your washing, cooking, cleaning. So he tells me that I need to do the ings today. So he drives me crazy. Okay. So anyway, that's with the peacock enclosure. It is I want it to be beautiful. And I did get on FaceTime with Nico, our brown farmhouse. I did get on FaceTime with him because you guys kept telling me how great his was. I do like his, but mine needs to be a lot bigger. Like, this is just me, but I can't stand tightness for my animals. I want big. I want big. And there's been many of times that I've needed to rescue peacocks and I don't have enough room. And I don't want to build the enclosure for 3 peacocks. But I have to, deal with that joker in there and go, I need it bigger. Do you understand me? So like, you know how, like, if you have a husband that's like this joker, like, you have to kind of like, you have to go easy with him, because if you just throw it on him and it's your idea and it's not his idea, you got to kind of make it his idea. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, if it's my idea, it's ridiculous. It's too big. Judy, you can't build around the pine trees. And see, then I get bullheaded and I'm like, okay, I'm just hiring someone. I'm just going to save enough money, get the money, figure out how much it costs. I'm just going to hire someone to build what I want. And then I realize it's like $6,000 and I can't afford to do that. So then I have to go back to Shane and go, Shane, okay, let me just tell you, what do you think about this? And then I start letting him give his input. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea, when he starts saying things that I won't. Okay. All right. Enough about that. I'm taking my glasses off, so Kayla is in charge. So I can't see. Okay. Caroline. Okay. I did not get to go get, Bobby Joe knocked me flat on my face last week. Like flat. And my glasses were like this. And so my glasses had been jacked up, and I literally sat in the eyeglass place for like an hour to get my glasses adjusted. And I was getting so frustrated because my dad was with me. And I was like, I cannot wait here another minute. So I ended up leaving, and my glasses are killing the back of my ear because they're like this. And so I got to go do that. But I can't get out of my driveway. Yesterday, Kayla and I were hard at work, and this guy pulls in our driveway. I forgot what you call his little machine. It's filled with like, it ain't asphalt. I don't know. And he started selling us, going, I can fix those holes in your driveway. And I'm like, dude, I can't make decisions around here. That's usually what I say when I'm trying to get rid of somebody. I'm like, I'm not allowed to make decisions around here. You'll have to contact my husband. And he was like, can I have your husband's number? And I'm like, sure. So I gave him Shane's number. And the reason I gave him Shane's number is because Shane has been wanting our driveway fixed. So I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity. The guy was doing a job and had leftovers. So he was willing to like super discount it, because he was going to have to the stuff that was in the little machine thing was going to waste. So Shane lowballed him to fix our driveway, and he said yes. So me and Kayla are sitting there going, what just happened? And so the guy came back, and Kayla left to go pick up Brinley, and I sat there and watched him do our driveway. And then he goes, you can't get on your driveway for 24 hours. And I was like, how am I going need. So like now my life's like all messed up because our driveway, I can't get out of my driveway. So I can't go do anything. I'm homebound for 24 hours. All right. I forgot to turn my curling iron on. Dadgummit. Okay. What was next? Oh, okay. So someone made a comment about me being a sanctuary and me allowing my animals to have babies. So I thought I would address it because that ain't the first time that's been said to me. So I hope whoever said that, I hope she's watching me live. She's probably not. She's probably not a Judy watcher. She was probably just someone that was scrolling through and just put her opinion in. But because that's, I told you guys about opinions. When you start giving your opinions to people, you're in trouble, okay? No one wants to hear your opinion. No one. Not even your Aunt Judy, okay? No one wants. When you start saying, you should do this. If I were you, I would do this. When those words start coming out of your mouth, you need to think about what Aunt Judy says to you and go, if I were you, I would do, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. You need to stop yourself immediately. Do not put your opinion on anyone. No creator, no friend, no family, no kids. Don't put your opinion on anyone unless they ask. When you start saying, you should do this, or, if I were you, or when you start that, you're headed for trouble. You need to listen to me. No one wants opinions. If they wanted your opinion, they would ask. Even if it's your best friend and you've been best friends with her for 20 years and you start throwing your opinion, you're going to get straight up on her nerves. Don't do that. Okay. So anyway, she said, I don't understand why, if you're a sanctuary, why you allow your babies to have, why you allow your animals to have babies. And then she said, I thought you were a sanctuary. Okay. Let's talk about what my farm is. Okay. My farm started out as chickens. Okay. And then little Judy just got on the sell chicken train because that's what chicken people do. They get chickens and then they're like, oh, I want to sell baby chicks. And then you think that what happens, you think that you're going to make money selling eggs and you think you're going to make money selling chicks. But what you do is you go completely backwards. And it takes you a minute to realize it, because what happens is you might sell 3 dozen eggs, fertile eggs, and ship them to New York, and you made $130 a dozen, and you're like, oh, wow, I just made $300. But then you and your crazy chicken phase goes, oh, did you see those chickens? So then you go and take that $300 and you go buy, I'm going to get these rare chickens. Okay, nobody around here has them. You're crazy. You're literally crazy. When you get chickens, you become crazy. I'm telling you, you can ask any chicken person, but that's what you do. Instead of taking the $300 and putting it in your savings account, you take the $300 and you start expanding your chicken coop, and you start buying a new run, and you buy a new feeder, and then you go buy more baby chicks, or then you expand to ducks, and then the next thing you know, you're buying ducks or peacocks, or because you got $300. You never, like, if you are a person of animals and you think that you're going to get rich selling animals, you need to listen to your Aunt Judy. No, you're not. You are considered the crazy chicken person. You're headed to a dead end, and you're headed to debt. If you think that you're going to go start a farm and get rich, I hate to disappoint you, but you're fixing to be in debt. Okay. Okay. So I started out my farm that way. I was that crazy chicken person that was going to sell baby chicks. And I did. I sold baby chicks and eggs. And at first it was fun. People called you, hey, you got any chicks? You're like, oh, I'm selling them for $10 a piece. That was me. I was that person until I realized that I was just going upside down. I was like totally going upside down. And people would pull in the driveway to get my baby chicks, and I would have anxiety because I was like, where are these chicks going? I ain't giving my chicks to some jackleg. Like, I just didn't enjoy it. So then I started becoming this person. I would hatch chicks, and Shane would go, Judy, you have 700 chicks in the darn brooder. Sell them. And I'd be like, no, I ain't selling my baby chicks. And he was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm raising it. I don't know if they're hens or roosters. I'm raising all of them. And I got to where I became greedy with my chicks, and people would say, Judy, do you have any chicks for sale? And I'd be like, no. And Shane would hear me. He goes, yes, we do. There's 700 baby chicks in the darn garage. Yes, you do have them for sale. And I'm like, I ain't selling them. That's what I would do. Okay. How do I put this? If you've been following me for a while, you know my duck story, but I started rescuing injured ducks from a local lake. Okay. And I built a rescue unit specifically for these ducks that I was rescuing. I spent $3,000 out of my pocket to rescue these ducks. And to this day, I form a committee to have the ducks fed during the winter. Okay. That came back to bite me in the butt. I began to get an attitude per se, because they were not in my opinion, the ducks, like I was going out there rescuing ducks and the same problem was happening and no one was listening to me how to fix the problem. So Judy was running out there rescuing ducks. Judy was taking the ducks to the vet. Judy was feeding the ducks. And it was, if you've been following me, you know what I'm talking about. If you're new to me, you're like, what is she? Oh, that's not cute. I sort of got a bad name in my community because I was screaming, jumping up and down and hollering because this lake that is here in Coleman is huge. It is known for feeding the ducks. They have a little splash pad there. They have a train there. Like, it's a nice park. It's not this just park. It is a nice park with piers and paddle boats and dog parks, and it's a really nice community. And when I realized that they did not feed the ducks, my heart broke. And I politely went to them and said, these ducks have to be fed. They're domesticated. And they're like, they're not our ducks. And I'm like, dude, they're on your lake. They're not our ducks. You're allowing people to dump the ducks. So yes, they are your ducks. So then I went to I'm Judy, and I was like, I'm going to fight for these ducks. And I went to the commissioners and I had a meeting, and I went to the Coleman lawyer and I pitched a flipping fit. Because what happens is during the winter months, these ducks don't get fed and they die. because they don't get fed. They get fed because the community comes and feeds them during the spring and summer, because that is an attraction to their place. But during the winter, the park does this Christmas event. So they have Christmas lighting and stuff. And the park is basically, it's not closed, but basically it's closed. So during the winter, you don't take your kids out to feed the ducks because it's freezing cold. So the ducks don't get fed. And my heart was breaking. And I've been ugly. I'm not going to lie. I did not handle it well. I made enemies in my community because I pitched a flippin' fit. Okay. And my army went to battle for me and was sending emails, and they were like, get off my back. So it was almost as if I'm not allowed at the park. Your Aunt Judy got kicked out. So that's where my sanctuary kind of started. And then now this is just my opinion. When it comes to breeding animals, it is a sensitive subject, because some people are like, you don't need to be producing animals because there's so many, animals neglected around here. And it's a very sensitive, it's just like if I sit here and talked about politics, like we might get in a fight and people might quit following me because if I say something, I might offend you. There's certain subjects, it's just like the subject that I talked about last week with me talking about discrimination and stuff like that. That is a very sensitive subject. But when you watch my lives, if you listen to one sentence and then ditch me, you didn't hear me out. So when you watch my lives and you form opinions, you need to listen to the whole thing, because I'm leading up to a story. I don't just get to the point. I lead up to the story. So you need to hear me throughout before you cast judgment upon me and decide to block me. Okay. So I personally feel like, now this is my farm only. I can't speak for other farms. There are all different types of sanctuaries. Okay. There's sanctuaries that just rescue and they fix their, animals right off the bat. There's sanctuaries that do that. There's sanctuaries that rescue and find homes. They go rehome them. They nurse them back to health. Then they go find a home for them. There's all different types of rescues that are out there. And to me personally, it's like you have to do what you feel is right. At the end of the day, rescues should support rescues, because at the end of the day, we all have one major goal, and that's to make a difference in a rescue's life. So, know that. For my rescue, now this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. Okay, just hear me out. I have had, hang on. My Sneed's farmhouse was formed in 2020. Okay, so 3 years. Sneed's farmhouse, so 3 years. I keep saying 5 years because I've been here 5 years. But I got chickens before Sneed's farmhouse started. So I guess I've had animals, you might as well say I've had farm animals for roughly 5 years. Okay. This is my opinion. You know how human beings, there's certain people that use fertility drugs because you may know someone in your life that can't have children and they are devastated. Like they spend thousands and thousands of dollars to go have, things planted. I'm not even saying it right. How do I say this? Infertility, they go through infertility treatment and they spend thousands of dollars because this mama is longing for a baby of her own, like to carry a baby. She is longing, she's hurting. And every time she goes to find out she's pregnant, she's like devastated. And the whole family's like, God bless her. She's having trouble having a baby. Now, this is my opinion. I've said this like 45 times, but in the experience that I've had with animals have the same emotions with being a mother as a human being. A mother is like describing a mother. We're very protective. Like when we go to Walmart and we're in a parking lot, we're making that kid hold our hand, right? And we're like, you stay close to me. Don't talk to strangers. We're very protective of our babies. An animal is the exact same way. I've literally sat and watched it. They, like Luna with those baby goats right now and Polka, they will headbutt and beat the crap out of somebody if they come near their babies. Animals are a mother hen. Oh yeah, you go in there with a mother hen and go try to take one of her little chicks and watch what she does. She flips her lid. She totally flip. You've heard nothing meaner than a wet mother hen. There's a reason that's a saying. Mother hens are mean as a snake. Okay. Another thing, like you sit and watch a chicken. They will literally sit on that nest for 21 days. They will sit and keep those eggs warm for 21 days and hold their poop, starve themselves to death, thirst themselves to death for those baby chicks. A mother is the same way, like a human being mother. Like if you were poor and all there was left is a box of ramen noodles, you're going to feed your kid that ramen noodle. You're going to give your kid before you take for yourself. That is just what mothers do. Animals are the exact same way. Animals love being mothers. That is what I have noticed in my farm. So, as far as like, if your opinion is I shouldn't be breeding my animals, that is an opinion. Okay. When you throw your opinions on other people, they get frustrated. It doesn't mean that your opinion is wrong. Your opinion is right for you. Just like I feel like I want to give my animals a chance to be a mother, because when I watched Georgia Lee was, in my opinion, a rescue. Okay. When she had Tate, her demeanor totally changed. She was having complications delivering Tate. She allowed me to walk over there and deliver Tate. Okay, normally in a normal situation, she's not letting me come anywhere near her. Okay, I have sat and watched her mother Tate. She is so happy. She is so happy. Okay, so my opinion is, just because I breed my animals does not mean that I'm not a true sanctuary. That is my opinion. There are different types of sanctuaries out there. Like, I'm trying to think, there's a couple of sanctuaries I follow, and the sanctuaries thrive off just donations. They're not open to the public to do tours. They don't go into the school system. They don't go to the library. They don't do the things that I do. They simply, like my cousin has a dog rescue. Okay. She relies off nothing but donations. I'm here to tell you right now, if your Aunt Judy did nothing but rely on people to donate to my farm, my animals are going to starve. Okay. I'm here to tell you right now. That's why, I went the wrong way. That's why you see so many sanctuaries or dog rescues or cat rescues go out of business because they don't get enough donations. And when you're a nonprofit and you're trying to stay afloat, like you're trying to think of everything possible to get donations because you're like, I am a nonprofit. I'm trying to put back into my farm and put back into the animal. But if I just depended on, let's just say, social media, if I depended on y'all to donate $30 every month to my farm, I would go out of business. So that's why you see me do tours, do field trips, go into the school. Like I have to do everything in my power. That's why you see me on social media, because I'm trying to expand my farm. I'm trying to build. Like right now, I just had a long conversation with Kayla, and I am trying to figure out how to buy property to expand so that my animals live on grass. If I depended on donations for me to go buy, let's just say, a $300,000 17-acre property with a barn and a fence, I'd go out of business. I would be bankrupt. I would be in trouble. So for me personally, being a sanctuary, I have to work my double off to make ends meet around here because I can't depend on donations. I can't. I would be out of business. So when you see me do that, yes, I'm a sanctuary. Yes, I have rescues. Yes, I do. But I have to be all over the place to make this work. I haven't personally figured out how to do it personally. And there's different types of rescues, in my opinion. I'm going to give, I don't know if she's here, the Tiny Honey, what's her Tiny Honey Farm? What's her name? Tiny Honey, hang on, I'll look. I forget. Tiny Honey Traveling Farm. Okay. Do y'all remember when I shared that alpaca that needed to be rescued? It was at an auction. Okay. We looked at that. Me and Susan owns Tiny Honey Traveling Farm. Me and her when we saw that alpaca, me and her went to battle. We were like, Susan was like, I'm going to get it. Oh my gosh, that alpaca looks terrible. Okay. Susan went, is she here? I guess she's not here. Susan literally went to the auction, bid on that alpaca to get it, to rescue it. So she paid money. And then actually, I think she found it a home. I think she found it a home before she went and bought it. Okay. That is a rescue situation, but money was exchanged. So a lot of times people think that a rescue is a surrendering or an animal that is abused, like that you went physically and got it. There, in my opinion, there's all different types of rescues. My alpacas, to me, I paid $3,000 for those alpacas. And the reason, I told you guys, I wanted alpacas. I told you guys this not too long ago, but I know I have a lot of new followers. But basically, it was the story that I told you guys about Shane wanting to get chicken houses, and I was going to have to give up my poultry, and I was going to exchange my chicken coop for the alpacas. And then anyway, long story. But basically, when I saw Rio and Georgia Lee, y'all, my heart broke. And the lady that bought the alpacas from an auction didn't rescue them. She just wanted alpacas. But then when she got them home and realized that they were not tame and it wasn't what she thought they were, she didn't want them anymore. So, and supposedly Georgia Lee was pregnant. So this lady bought them from an auction, got them home, had them a week, and then was like, I don't want them. I don't want to deal with this. They're not nice. They're spitting. I don't want them. And then she called me and said, Judy, will you take these alpacas? I go to her house and they were scared to death in this stall. And Rio and Georgia Lee did not live together, I don't think, because they didn't really know each other. They were in separate pens when I saw them for the first time. You should have seen Georgia Lee trying to get her in the trailer to get to my farm. Oh my gosh. It was the saddest thing I have ever seen in my life. I tear up even thinking about it. She was scared to death. Like we had to drag her and basically choke her to get her into it was awful. Okay. I paid $3,000. So do you consider, some people are like, you're not a rescue. You paid $3,000 for those alpacas. To me, Georgia Lee and Rio were a rescue. I paid $3,000 to rescue them. Oh, yes, they were. Oh, yes, they were. So to me, when you look at, when you're on social media and you see different sanctuaries, there's all different types of sanctuaries. There's not one in one. There's not just because I allow my goats to get pregnant, or just because I have animals on my farm that I paid for, doesn't mean that I'm not a sanctuary. Freddie, my pig, his mother died during labor. Okay, I paid $50 for Freddie. I went and got him. I wanted a pig. I did. I wanted a pig. And this girl had an infant and she had 3 piglets that the mother had died. And I said, I'll take one. And I went and picked up Freddie, and Freddie lived in my house for months until not months, 2 months. Yeah, 2 months until I got Shishi. Shishi wasn't really considered a rescue. So I have a variety of animals on my farm. Some were rescued, some were not. Luna, I consider a rescue. Luna was one of my very first goats. She's the one that had the babies. I personally don't feel like it's anything wrong to breed a rescue. And I know that's a touchy subject. I know it is, because people are like, there are so many goats out here that are mistreated. Like, you should not populate more goats. And I understand what people are saying. I do. But like my rabbits, for example, okay, I don't really breed rabbits to make money. I breed rabbits and donate them to classrooms. I will sell some of them because that's how I pay for my farm. So I will sell some of them if they're not a school. Like if someone calls me and says, hey, I want one of your rabbits so bad, will you let me buy one? Sometimes I say yes, but my rabbits go into a classroom. My rabbits go into classrooms for classroom pets. Okay. So like you're telling me, like people say you shouldn't breed your rabbits. Okay. And understand that I also have rescued rabbits. I have rescued rabbits and got them tame and rehome them to schools. I've done both. There's been times where people will, just recently, this man had a pet pig, and he was like, Judy, I did a birthday party at your farm. I have this pig. We are moving and I cannot take it with me. Will you please find a home for it? I said yes. And often I say yes. When people message me, they want me to take it. I personally cannot take every animal that people reach out to. I don't have a big enough place. My farm's not that big. Not really. So like, but I will, like, if I feel in my heart that I need to find this animal a home, I will. And he reached out to me and asked me if I home. Well, I posted it a week or two ago, and I found the pig a home. So I considered that a rescue because we were able to find a really good home for this pig. So sanctuaries come in all different shape forms. It doesn't, just because you might follow one rescue that doesn't do what I do doesn't mean that I'm not a sanctuary. That's just my opinion. Okay. I want to talk about something that I'm not good at. Okay. This week, a situation happened with Shane and I. He ticked me off. Okay. He ticked me off. I'm not going to go into details, but he ticked me off. So maybe it was last week. I don't know. It been last week he ticks me off every week. But I told you guys I go to counseling every single week. Every single one. And as a matter of fact, I have a counseling appointment this morning. So last week, I started talking to her about the situation with my dad and about Shane and how I have so much on me and blah, blah, blah. I was totally feeling sorry for myself. And I started the conversation like this. And I want to know if you relate to me. He makes me feel like this. I feel blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like he does not care about me. I feel like we are not a team. I feel like do you know what I'm talking about? When you start saying, I feel like, you know what I'm talking about? Like your husband or your spouse, your wife, somebody totally just like rubs you the wrong way and you start saying, he makes me so mad. He makes me feel like I am not important at all. When you start that, I feel like, why is my thumb up? I just had okay. My counselor, in the middle of me talking, she goes, stop. Whoops, I missed a hair. She said, stop. Do you know what I feel like is? I'm like, what is she talking about? I feel like. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, what does I feel like? When you say I feel something, what is that? And I was like, basically, it's an emotion. Why is it? I got my thumb up right here and it's, it's doing that. So when you say, I feel like something, you're in emotional mind. Okay? If you don't know what emotional mind is, when we get off here, I want you to Google emotional mind. Emotional mind happens because of past things like maybe the way you were brought up. Like, maybe you didn't feel important by your parents and you find yourself going, and when you're in a situation where the person is not, maybe having a bad day and you feel like, I feel like he's ugly and I feel like he could care two craps about me. Like when you do that, okay, you're in emotional mind. Emotional mind, again, happens. It happens because of several things. It happens because the way you were raised. It could happen from this is killing me. From past relationships, like past relationships that you have been in, maybe you were in an abusive relationship. Maybe it wasn't physical abuse. Maybe it was emotional abuse and you never felt important or you never felt heard. And so you carry all that PTSD with you through life. You just carry it all with you. And then when situations happen, you start that I feel like, okay? So last night, See, it's been a week and I'm still mad. That's me. I hold on to madness. Okay. Like I'll be mad at your butt for a week. Okay. And so I started to talk to Shane last night and I said, "You make me feel like I am not important." And he was like, "Really? Really?" And then I said it again. I'm like, "You make me feel like," and I went, "I'm an emotional mind." Okay. If you live by emotions, you're dead. You know how I tell you there's things that will head you to a dead end? If you live off your emotions about a feeling, you're in trouble. So like what she had me do, and girl, I've been in so much counseling that I already knew this and I still have to practice it because I will bust out, "You make me feel like," all the time. Okay. I will so bust that out. But last night I was able to catch myself and I went, "You make me feel," uh-oh, "you make me feel as an emotional mind. So you better check the facts." Okay. So when I sit there and tell Shane, "You make me feel like I'm the last person on your important list. Like I am not at the top of the list." Okay. At that point, as soon as you say, "You make me feel like," or "they make me feel like," or "I feel like," you have to stop your tracks and go, "What are the facts?" Because you're in emotional mind and you're not in factual situations. You're in "it feels like." But "feels like" and facts are two different things. Okay. So I'm telling Shane that "you make me feel like I'm not a priority." Like it's Shane, mama, daddy, kids, work, and then Judy. Judy's way down here on the list. Okay. So I'm telling him that. Okay. Stop. It's again, as soon as you start going, "He makes me so mad. She makes me so mad. I feel like blah, blah, blah." Stop. As soon as you get the words "I feel like" out of your mouth, stop and check your facts. How do you check your facts? Okay. So last night when I was telling Shane he was a POS, basically I had to stop in the middle of me saying that. I had to stop and listen, y'all. It wasn't like I was sitting down. Oh, wrong way. It wasn't like we were sitting in the bed and I was telling him that I didn't feel important. Oh no, I was screaming that crap from the shower. "You make me feel like I'm not important. You make me feel like I'm like the last on the list." Okay, I'm saying this from the shower. Okay. Have you ever had those days? You're screaming it from the shower and you're like, "Joker, let me just tell you, tick me off." Okay. So when I felt myself getting my blood pressure up, screaming at him that I wasn't important in his life, as soon as I said it, I went, "Oh God, I'm in emotional mind." God. Okay. Hang on, Shane. Hang on. I'll cuss you out in just a minute. Let me check my facts. So I had to stop myself in the middle of the shower screaming at him. I had to stop myself and go, "Okay, let's check the facts." Okay, Judy. Oh shoot. Oh, wrong way. So I had to go, "Okay, I'm an emotional mind. So let's check the facts." So am I like fifth down the line in Shane's important list? Like, let's think about this for just a minute. Okay. Am I really? I'm feeling like that in the moment. I'm feeling non important in the moment, right? Because it's a feeling, but it's not a fact. The fact is, I'm probably on the top of the list for Shane. I mean, Shane is, I, Shane loves me and I know it. I mean, I feel it. Shane loves me. But when I'm in emotional mind, I don't feel loved. I feel non-important. I feel like all Shane cares about is Shane. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that when I'm an emotional mind. But see, emotional mind, you know how I tell you guys, Lord, what time is it? Okay. You know how I tell you guys that in order to have balance, it's spiritual, physical, emotional, well, physical, help me. Why am I having a brain fart? Emotional, physical, spiritual. There's one other one. Emotions, physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. Emotional to me is the hardest to overcome. It is so hard because we have feelings and we live off our feelings sometimes, but our feelings are not always accurate. Because when we're in situations where we start, you make me feel like this, we're in emotional mind and we have to be aware of it because our feelings don't always tell us the truth. Our feelings play our feelings play with our emotions. Like my mother is such a POS. Let me tell you what she did. Let me tell you what she did. You do that because you concentrate on one situation and then you're caught up in the emotion of it. Because maybe that situation was very emotional to you and you're having a hard time letting go of that one situation. But like if you sat and go, okay, wait a minute, my mother raised me. I am who I am today because I've been through all of this. Like the strong woman that I am today is because I've written my own book, right? But like we find ourselves blaming everyone else because we get caught up in emotional mind and emotional mind lies to us. So I just want to tell you, I want you to be aware of two things today. If you haven't listened to anything I said, number one is opinions. And I talk about that all the time because sometimes when we give advice to people and we think we're giving good advice, when we give advice, sometimes we throw the opinion in with the advice. Do you think advice is an opinion? I think it is, now that I think about it. If you start giving people advice, I guess not. Let me think about it. What do y'all think? Do you think advice is an opinion? I think sometimes it can turn into an opinion. Like, for example, like my cows were sick this week, right? And people are giving me advice on how to fix them. Well, that's advice. They're not, is that an opinion? If people are giving me advice, they're just trying to help me with my cows. They're not really. Wait a minute. Maybe it should be like this. I'm thinking about this. If you give someone advice, like you're telling them what worked for you, right? Or you're saying, hey, Judy, I saw on Arms Family Farm, they had cows that were sick and they did this. Okay, that's advice, right? That's not an opinion. That's advice. But when advice becomes an opinion is when you say, I probably need to shut up, but I'm trying to think, y'all. Just bear with me while I think this through. Sometimes it takes, I have to break it down. I have to break it down. So if you said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I watched Arms Family Farm and their cows were sick and they tried this and it worked. That's advice. That is not an opinion. Like you're helping me try to help my cows. But if you say, well, the reason your cows are sick is because they're in a pasture and it's been raining and you don't have grass and they're not getting enough fiber in their diet, poor cows, because you know what I'm saying? That is an opinion. Are you agree with me? I'm thinking. I think it's hard to give advice sometimes. Opinions start. Hang on. Opinions can form quickly when you give advice, in my opinion. I think you have to be careful because you will quickly form an opinion. I do. I don't know about y'all. When I form opinions, it's with my children. I start forming opinions with them. They make me so mad sometimes. I need some wipes in my thing. Yeah, advice. So advice and a suggestion is not an opinion. But you see how quickly you can turn it into an opinion when you start giving advice or a suggestion? Like if I say, okay, like I'm decorating my Christmas tree. Okay, I'm decorating my Christmas tree. And in my brain, I'm thinking it's the most beautiful Christmas tree in the whole wide world. And then my best friend comes over here and go, I suggest you put that tree over there because it would look so much better. See, that's a suggestion, but it's really an opinion. So see how a suggestion can become an opinion, and then you're like, well, I thought my Christmas tree looked beautiful right here. And here she comes in telling me that I should put my Christmas tree over here because she's a decorator and she thinks she knows it all. You see how quickly we can be offended by an opinion that the person thought it would be a suggestion. Now, if I said to her, okay, let me just tell you this. If my Christmas tree is put up in the corner and I already have the decorations on it and the presents under the tree, and I look at you and say, do you think I should have put that tree over there? Do you think that I really want to know your opinion? I'm saying it. I'm saying, do you think I should have put that over there? But I already got the decorations on it and all. So you think that someone's going to take the decorations off the tree, move the presents, take the tree down and move it to where you think you should be when I say that. So like, you see how it can be very, like sometimes we just talk, but we really don't want to know their opinion. I mean, do you honestly think that I want to know her opinion about putting the tree somewhere else when I already have the decorations and the presents under the tree? No, I don't want her opinion. So like you have to be careful. Even like sometimes maybe you should say, maybe when someone says that, should I put the tree over here? Maybe you should go, are you really wanting to know my opinion? Or are you just chit-chatting? Because if I throw my opinion on you because you're asking me, then you might not like what I got to say. And then you find yourself dying laughing because you really don't want their opinion. It's kind of like me telling, I told you that how I want people to do back handsprings when they open their presents from me. And like we end up turning it into a joke because, it gets to be funny because I realize that I'm that way. You know what I'm saying? Do you see how when you start throwing your opinions out on people, it becomes offensive. And then the person that you're throwing your opinion on gets mad at you. And you're like, well, crap, I was just trying to help. I was just trying to tell you that you need to, when people start throwing their opinion on me about the whole my animals need grass, I want to go, duh crap, Joker, but I ain't got $1 million to go buy 100 acres out in Coleman to move my animals to. We own a budget around here. Maybe one day God will bless my farm and I'll be able to move to 100-acre land. But as of right now, we're do what we do. And there's nothing, my animals are fine. My animals are fine. But that's when you start throwing your opinion on people and they get mad. And I have to, I've had to learn, and I want you to do this too. When people start throwing their opinion on you and you become mad as crap because they're throwing their opinion on you, you've got to stop yourself and just laugh and go, they need their Aunt Judy. They need the mornings at 7 o'clock in the morning. Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should go, hey, let me give you this business card. Maybe you need to get this business card to learn about how to stop saying your opinion. If you go and watch her live every Monday and Wednesday at 7 o'clock, you'll get a little bit of therapy and you'll learn that your opinion really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you know how I can remember my mother saying, y'all probably have heard this, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. Have you ever heard that? You know how people say that? People say that. And Becky said that, I called Becky last week or the week before, Becky that's on here, and she said, when people tell me to stay in my own lane, I tell them I own both lanes. That sticks with me, because if someone like, if you offend someone, they stay in your own lane, and you say, baby, I own both lanes, you can't help but to laugh, And Becky, just to let you know, I've started using that saying. I use it to Shane when Shane starts going, you need to stay in your own lane. I'm like, dude, I own both of them. I own both. Becky, I've taken your saying, and I use it for Shane all the time when he tells me to stay in my own lane. Usually when he tells me to stay in my own lane, it's because we're dealing with my kids or his kids. And he's like, we got to stay in our own lane. I'm like, dude, I own them both. I don't know about you, but it makes you laugh when you say things like that. It's just like when I say that about opening the presents, used to, I would cry. If my kids, if I gave my kids a Christmas gift and they were just like, oh, thanks, Mom. And I'm like, are you kidding me? But see, now when I tell them what I want them to do, because it takes a lot of strength to figure yourself out, to figure out what makes you mad. Like at Christmas when you're given a gift and you get mad and you're like, what is wrong with me? And I tell you guys all the time, when you start finding yourself having emotions like you're mad or you feel anxious or all those things, you have to stop and go, I need a minute. Let me go to the bathroom. And you look in the mirror and you go, dude, what's wrong with you? Why do you feel so mad? It is Christmas morning and you're mad as crap. What is wrong? And take a minute to go, okay, what is wrong with me? And you will laugh when you figure out what's wrong with you. I am mad because they did not go out to the front yard and do a back handspring when I gave them that gift, because I took a lot of time to find that gift. I thought they were going to get ripped up excited about it, and they didn't, and they have no respect for me. They could care less. I spent $100 on that present, and they literally opened it and put it down, and I need them to go to the front yard and do a back handspring. You're telling yourself that in the mirror, and then you're like, you start laughing at yourself because you realize that's stupid. But you find yourself mad because they didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So you have, you have to excuse yourself when you feel an emotion. They're making me feel like they could care. Okay, let's stop. They open the present and they don't go outside and do the back handspring. This is me. They could care less. I spend all this money on Christmas and they could care less. This will be the last Christmas that I ever go out of my way to buy presents for them again because they're disrespectful. There's a deck of fly. They're disrespectful. Those kids, they're spoiled rotten. Our generation didn't act like that. They get gifts and they don't even say thank you. They expect it. And you're like, dude, what the? So then you go, I feel really mad. I feel the emotion of being pissed off. So let me excuse myself and go to the bathroom. So then you go to the bathroom and you look at yourself and you're like, dude, what the crap? Why are you so ill? What the crap's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Judy? And I'm like, okay, I'm feeling the emotion of being mad. So let's check the facts. So stop yourself when you feel emotion and check the facts. Okay. Do my kids absolutely, are they disrespecting me because they open the gift and go, thanks, Mom, that was really nice of you, and they set the present? Let's check the facts. Is that disrespectful? They said thank you. They had a smile on their face, and they set the present down. The facts are they actually liked the gift. They said thank you. They were very respectful. They said thank you. So I have to check the facts because I'm over here mad because they didn't go to the front yard to do the back handspring. So checking the facts, I'm feeling the emotion of mad. So I go to the bathroom and I check the facts. The facts are they said thank you. They showed up to my house Christmas Day. They said thank you. Maybe they gave me a gift. So when I start getting mad and say they're disrespectful, are they really disrespectful? They showed up to my house. They said thank you when they opened the gift, and they brought me a gift. You see how you have to check the facts because your emotions will lie to you. You will go straight to left field when you don't get what you need. And then you're like, okay, so when you check the facts and you realize they are respectful, they did say thank you, and they brought you a gift when they probably couldn't even afford you a gift, but they brought you a gift. So then you have to go, okay, so I'm feeling the emotion of mad. I checked my facts and they actually are respectful. I'm just not getting what I need. So what do you need, Judy? Well, the fact is, Mom's not here. And when Mom used to do Christmas, Mom was like doing the back handsprings. Like Mom gave the stocking and was like super, like Mom had tons of emotion when she gave gifts. Mom was like, I'm going to call her Carol because Carol, I don't know if she's on here, but Carol gives tons of gifts. She reminds me of my mom. And so like, I am stuck in what childhood was like. No, what Christmas was like when I was a child. Okay. When kids grow older, they don't do back handsprings in the front yard when they get a coffee cup or whatever, even though it was the most special coffee cup because it had the perfect staying on it, right? It had the perfect saying on it. But see, like I told you guys last week, Kayla and I open gifts just alike. Oh my God. If you saw me and Kayla open gifts, you would be laughing your head off. Because Kayla and I we're not just doing one back handspring. We're like doing 45 back handsprings and a couple of back tucks when we open our gifts. We're so excited. Kayla and I are like kids when we open our presents. And Kayla, I've never asked her this, but I bet she wants her people to open gifts just like me and Kayla open gifts. Because we're not Or like, oh, shut the front door. Are you kidding? This is the most beautiful eyeshadow palette I've ever seen in my life. Are you kidding me? Oh, I'm going to feel so glamorous when I open this gift. That's how Kayla and I open gifts. Okay. And my kids don't open gifts that way. Shane does not open gifts that way. Like, he does not open gifts that way at all. And I'm like, he didn't like it. He so didn't like it. It's like, why are you thinking I didn't like it? I'm like, because you didn't get excited. Well, Judy, I don't have the same like personality as you. I don't just like go crazy when I open up a gift. And I'm like, well, that means you don't like it. So this holiday season, you've got to know what your expectations are when you're giving, even if it's not the holiday season. Lord, I'm talking so much, and it is 10 after 8, and I'm just running my trap and not putting on my makeup and not getting ready. And okay, did y'all learn anything today? Did y'all learn anything? You learned, let me recap real quick as I'm making my eyes black. Let's recap. When you start forming opinions, even when you think they're suggestions and you think they're advice, you need to reread it and go, am I forming an opinion? Or am I giving suggestions? Like, what am I trying to gain from this? What I'm fixing to say to my kids? What am I forming opinions? I form opinions every single time I talk to my children. And I have to go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm forming an opinion. Because I tell them all the time, if I was you, I'd do this. You need to get your crap straight. You are a train wreck. That's what I tell you. You are such a train wreck. You need to get it together. So know that. Learn what your opinion is. Google it. Study it. Study what an opinion is. Like, don't like go a little, like when we get off here, go a little deeper. Go learn what emotional mind is. Google it. Go to YouTube. There's got to be psychiatrists out there that talk about emotional mind. Come teach me something. You know, we're in this together. Go learn something about emotional mind. Learn that if you live off your emotions, you're going to be in trouble. I feel like this. You make me feel like I am not important. And Shane's like, oh, God, are you kidding me? I'm like, no. I feel like I'm like 5th or 6th down the dadgum line. And then I just start dying laughing because I realize that I am in emotional mind. I have to check the facts. When I'm in emotional mind, I have to stop myself and go, what's wrong with you, Judy? And usually it's because of past relationships, past things that you've been through in your life, and you realize it's PTSD from childhood, or you feel like it's PTSD from a past relationship, and you're feeling not loved because of something stupid, and it's just you're in emotional mind. So know that. Did I tell y'all I like this mascara? And when you watch other sanctuaries, know that every sanctuary is totally different. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to do the same. We all have the same goal, and that's to make a difference in an animal's life. And the way I choose to make a difference, and the way, like, let's say Lester chooses to make a difference, might be totally 2 different ways. But that doesn't mean Lester's not a sanctuary, and it doesn't mean that I'm not a sanctuary. There may be animals, you know, I know Lester just had a cria. Does that mean he's not a sanctuary because he allowed his alpaca to have a baby? No. No. Lester is a sanctuary. I didn't tell y'all to hang on a minute. There's a lot of duck rescues that I follow. And, there's no way to rescue ducks and keep them all. I mean, you can't keep all the animals, but you can be a rescue and find homes for them, and try to find a good home for them. There's all different types of sanctuaries, and know that. And just because you form an opinion that I or Lester or whoever has a sanctuary shouldn't breed, I tell you what, you come to my farm and you see Luna right now with her babies, and you see that she's so in her element, that she is a little protective mama, taking care of those babies, happy as ever, and then tell me it's wrong. You come to Sneed's Farmhouse. When you start forming opinions, you come to Sneed's Farmhouse and stay with me for a week. If you form an opinion about things that I say, like last week, I talk about hard subjects that people form opinions about, but it's natural to form an opinion. Like when I talked about the discrimination last week, that was hard to talk about. Those are not easy subjects to talk about because everyone has their own opinion about it. But just because your opinion's different to mine doesn't mean we can't get along. Doesn't mean that, you can't support me because, I don't know, my son's gay, so I can't support her. Really? 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 Spend 30 days with me. Come sit down and talk to me. Call me on the phone. Send me a message and say, Judy, can we talk? I want to know who you are. Know who I am before you start forming opinions. Because I can promise you that if you judge somebody by one thing they say, you're in trouble. Did you see that fly? You're in trouble because you're forming opinions. Stay neutral. Love. Just like God loves. Just love. All right, guys. I've overtalked today. It is 8:18 and I've got to go do animals. And Kayla and we talked yesterday, and I haven't told y'all this, but I found out from the doctor yesterday that radiation is starting next Wednesday. And I'm sitting here in my head going, how am I going to do all this? Because I have to be at radiation in the middle of the day. So I'm going to have to leave my house early, and I won't get home till late afternoon. And how am I going to film? And how am I going to edit? And how am I going to go live? And how am I going to do this? And Kayla's going to do some of my videoing. So I just ask that you lock in your seatbelt with me for 6 weeks. Please don't give up on me. My videos might suck a big old fat bean-all sandwich because I'm going to be tired, but I'm not giving up on y'all. If you promise not to give up on me, I'm still going to go live every Monday and Wednesday, but I think I'm going to try to maybe go live maybe in the afternoons, maybe one day a week if I can, because I don't know if I can put out videos 3 days a week. I'm not here enough to video. So I'm not really sure. So I might add another live in the afternoon, because I feel like people need to, we're a team here, and I feel like people need to get to know us as a team and know our hearts here as backup dancers, that it's not just Judy, we're a team. And so I feel like we need to fish a little bit. And because there's people that maybe that may not get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, they can't do that, but they can watch the replay, but they've never seen us. And they don't know that you guys encourage each other and we're not bashing each other. And this is not a fighting place. Like, this is a safe place to come no matter what you believe, what you do. Like, this is a safe place to come. So I may, instead of putting out a video, I may add an extra live because it's much easier for me to go live than try to edit a 2-hour video, and all is hard. So just bear with us. All right. Love you guys. Today you have two choices. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. You can sit it out or you can dance. And I hope you dance. Go make a difference in someone's life. I will see you maybe one day this week. It may be a surprise video. I'm going to try to plan an afternoon video. It's not going to be a surprise. Kayla and I are going to have to work together to do that, because afternoon lives, you get the crazies. And I'm going to need Kayla as my head backup dancer when I go live in the afternoons. So I will see you guys later. Love you so much.